We are on the air this noon with breaking news. The police chief in Pelham confirms to WMUR his department is investigating a shooting at New England Pentecostal Church. This is located at 955 Bridge Street in Pelham. The New Hampshire State Police Major Crimes Unit and the New Hampshire Attorney General's Office is involved in this investigation, as well as the Hillsborough County Attorney's Office. Police responded to the church shortly after 10 o'clock this morning, just about 2 hours ago. The police chief, Joseph Rourke, was not able to tell us how many people have been shot, what kind of injuries they may have, or if there is a suspect in custody. Lowell General Hospital has confirmed it received a patient from this church, but a spokesperson could not verify whether the patient was injured in a shooting. WMUR's Siobhan Lopez is live at the scene there. Siobhan, and we have her on the phone. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Can you describe to us, we've got some still photos up, Siobhan, but can you describe to us what the scene looks like right now?
Sure. It's an extremely active scene at this point. We're seeing more and more emergency vehicles show up here. Multiple agencies, of course, local police, Pelham Police are here, along with Pelham Fire Department. Derry Mobile Command Unit is here, State Police. We've seen Windham Police pull in here. So it's been an active scene all morning. We first got word about this developing story just before 10:30 this morning, and we arrived here. Bridge Street was open. It does remain open at this time. You can get by this scene. People should avoid this area if possible, because with all of the moving parts, a lot of emergency vehicles coming in and out, you may be able to hear the sirens here and other emergency vehicles approaching here. But as you mentioned, the police chief here in Pelham has been able to confirm that there was a shooting here. That is what they're investigating at New England Pentecostal Ministries. We've spoken to some people who have shown up here for a memorial service. It was scheduled for noon today for Luis Garcia. He was a minister here. You may remember we reported on his murder. He was shot and killed in Londonderry at the beginning of this month on October 1st. Today was supposed to be the celebration of his life here at this church at noon, and a lot of people who are on their way here. We spoke to a man. They were on their way up from Boston, a lot of family friends of Luis Garcia. They were on their way here, and so one witness we spoke to say, while he was on the highway here, he was on 93 on the way from Boston, someone called, a family member called, and told them, don't come, someone's been shot. So a lot of people here kind of getting a little more and more information as they arrive on scene, but we can confirm from Pelham Police Chief that there was a shooting here at this church. They are investigating. This is an incredibly active scene. So again, if you can avoid this Bridge Street area, do so. Traffic is getting by slowly, but that's all we know at this point so far.
Siobhan, can you describe to us how close to the Pentecostal church you are right now?
I'm standing right on the front lawn. They do have a mobile command unit set up here with the emergency vehicles, but they've kind of allowed media to set up right on the other side of the crime scene tape that's up here around. There is a child care center that's right next door that's not part of the area that's roped off, so we're all kind of on the lawn right in front. It's 955 Bridge Street, and for the most part, I mean, we're right up against the scene. Whatever they're investigating seems to be indoors. Investigators have been coming in and out of the church, and we're very close to the scene.
And so you said the activity seems to be contained inside the building there. We were seeing some traffic about an active shooter situation. Just wondering if that appears to be contained, or what you're able to glean from that.
Right, at this point, we really can't confirm if they are looking for someone or not, but just by what we have here at this scene, a lot of what they're investigating seems to be indoors. There doesn't seem to be any evidence markers or anything going up outside. With the amount of police activity coming and going here, it is really unclear at this point. We haven't heard anything from the police as far as them looking for anyone at this point, but again, we can't confirm that. But for the most part, it seems that the majority of what they're looking at, whether there's a crime scene, that does appear to be indoors at this point.
We understand multiple ambulances were dispatched to this location earlier on. Are there still ambulances on scene there, or have they all moved off? Can you tell that?
From where I'm standing, I can see one ambulance. It appears just to be staged here. It doesn't have its lights on or anything. It's just parked among the emergency vehicles. There was, whether or not this was a family member or a friend who was on their way here and received this news. A woman did collapse out here earlier, but it seemed as though either she was upset by what was going on, maybe overwhelmed, but she had just been picked up by some bystanders and some paramedics and put into an ambulance to be checked out. But other than that, we haven't seen any ambulances rushing to or from the scene.
So just to recap, Siobhan, we do have confirmation that there was a shooting at this church, that police responded to this address at 955 Bridge Street in Pelham shortly after 10 o'clock this morning. What we are not able to verify at this hour is how many people were injured, the extent of their injuries, and the status of a shooter. Does that sound like an accurate synopsis there?
That's accurate. That's where we're at this point, and we are hoping now. There is a growing media presence here. We are hoping to get some more information, especially once we see someone from the Attorney General's office or from the County Attorney's office arrive. We are hoping to get some kind of official update. But at this point, you're right. All we can say is that there is a shooting investigation here. We do know one person who has some kind of injuries was taken to the hospital. We can't confirm if it is from this shooting, but they were taken from this scene. So at this point, it's developing. It's early on, and we are hoping to get an update soon.
And Siobhan, it's 5 minutes after noon, and News 9 has confirmed that at noon there was supposed to be a celebration of life at that church for Luis Garcia.
That's correct. Yeah, a lot of that's. It was actually it's in his obituary that was scheduled for today, and the people that we spoke to here today were on their way to that celebration of life. So they're really just dumbfounded by any kind of violence happening here, where this was supposed to be a day to celebrate the life of a man who had dedicated, I believe, 6 years to this church in particular, and who himself was murdered earlier this month. So just a lot of confusion at the scene. As we were approaching the scene, I had my window down, and I heard a woman upset talking to somebody about how she had been cooking mac and cheese to bring to the celebration of life, and it was taking longer. And had it not taken her so long, she would have been here when it happened. So she was very upset. A lot of people kind of trying to figure out what happened here, what could have happened had they been here. And the witness, the person we spoke to who was coming here for that celebration of life, says even though people were calling saying, don't come, they all wanted to be here for their friends and family to make sure everybody's okay.
Siobhan, right now we have live pictures up from the scene there at 955 Bridge Street. We're looking at some Pelham police officers standing around and a large spray of yellow crime tape encircling the area. It appears to be quite a large church.
It does. It does from here. I know we've been in this church. Some of our reporters here at News 9 have actually been in this church recently. When Luis Garcia was killed, we had spoken to some members of the church here about his time here and about that particular case. It is a community church. This is an area where it's a well-traveled area. This Bridge Street area seems to be very busy. Obviously, with all the backups and the traffic, it's a little more busy today, but it does seem to be a fairly large building here, yes.
I've just received a message from County Attorney Michael Conlon. He says presently there are no fatalities. He also is confirming for News 9 that the suspect is in custody. He defers to State Police Major Crime Unit in terms of threats to the public. But again, County Attorney Michael Conlon confirming to News 9 that there are no fatalities at the moment and the suspect is in custody. Again, you're looking live at a very active police situation in Pelham. We have confirmed that a shooting happened and police responded to the New England Pentecostal Church on Bridge Street shortly after 10 o'clock this morning. News 9 has also been able to confirm that at least one person was transported and received at Lowell General Hospital with injuries, although that spokesperson could not confirm whether it was a shooting injury. Again, just to recap, you were looking live there at the scene of a shooting that occurred sometime after 10 o'clock this morning at the New England Pentecostal Church on Bridge Street in Pelham, New Hampshire. Very active scene there, large response. News 9 has just received a message from the Hillsborough County Attorney that at present there are no fatalities and that a suspect is in custody. Of course, we have multiple crews on the scene there. We will keep you apprised of this developing and breaking situation on all of our applications, our WMUR News 9 app, as well as Twitter and our Facebook page.